Hey guys, welcome. Glad you stopped by. Today we're gonna do dessert, and I thought for dessert we do something that I can't recall the last time I've done one, made one of any sort, or I mean it's been a minute, but it's a cheesecake bar. And this one is a churro cheesecake bar, like the little churros you buy. They're usually filled with cream. This is a 9 by 13 cheesecake, basically with a lovely churro style wrap on the bottom and a flattened, and then one on the top. And it's pretty wide open to interpretation of things you can do to it, and I think that's cool. And it just seems really quick, easy, straightforward. There's only a handful of ingredients to the whole thing, and I mean I'm personally kind of excited to make this. It's just been forever since I've made a bar, and this would definitely be something that you could easily make with the grandkids or the kids, or if you're learning to bake, this is a great place to start and impress your friends, I believe. Like I said, the ingredients list is incredibly small. So that being said, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you get something out of this video. Check out some of my other videos. If you're returning or one of our new subscribers, as always, welcome back and thank you. Don't forget to share, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and all that's important. It keeps us relevant in the YouTube algorithm and in the YouTube society, and helps our village grow, right? Our neighborhood is steadily growing into a village. Our goal is 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we have not stopped growing. I mean, we're not exploding, but we've not stopped growing, and that's important. Comments, always welcome. I respond to about 99.55268.5% of all of them. And all I ask is you be nice. You don't have to agree, with me or anybody else in the comments, but think before you type, right? That's important. We have done a really good job over the years of, keeping it civil, keeping it polite, keeping it nice. We've all made lots of good friends. I've made a ton of new friends, doing this. And have met all kinds of people I never thought I'd met from around the world, which is amazing. And I want to keep that mentality going. That's kind of what, if you're new, this is kind of what our channel is about. It's about being a good neighbor, a good friend, through food, and communication and things like that. Sitting down at the dinner table with a good, healthy meal, having a bit of dessert afterwards. But that being said, I will give you all your measurements and cups, tablespoons, teaspoons, but I also do grams and milliliters, so that way everybody can play along, right? That's important. So anyhow, let's jump down here to the counter and get started on this wonderful treat. Hold on for me 1 second. Okay, we are down here at the counter, and first thing we're going to need to do is make up some cinnamon sugar, right? So for our cinnamon sugar, I've got 1/2 cup, 100 grams of just plain old regular granulated sugar, and to that I'm going to add 2 tablespoons or 12 grams of cinnamon. I'm going to go ahead and get that in there, and then we'll just simply grab a fork real quick, and we're going to give this a good mix up. Okay, we have got our cinnamon sugar mixed up really nice, and now all we got to do is just set that to the side. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our filling up real quick. And right here under plastic wrap, I've got 2 8-ounce blocks, 453 grams, of room temperature, well, at least softened cream cheese. So leave it out for about a half hour, 45 minutes. But the softer the better. The more room temperature, the better. Makes it easier. You don't have clumps, and it helps to get it super smooth quick. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in our stand mixer. Now, if you don't have a stand mixer, you can use a hand mixer. I don't recall any rule saying you can't. And what we're gonna do with our 2 8-ounce blocks, 453 grams of softened cream cheese, is we're gonna go ahead and beat this until it's smooth and creamy. It's gonna take about a minute or so. All right, so we are nice and beaten, smooth and creamy, and we're going to give it a quick scrape down. Scraping down when, especially when making pretty much anything in the baking world, is pretty important. It does a couple things. It allows you to see where you're at, right? And to make sure everything, if you have more than one ingredient here, which we don't, we just have cream cheese. So right now I'm just checking to make sure there's no big lumps. If you had multiple ingredients in here, you would go, oh, well, let's make sure we're mixed. So doesn't look like we have any big major lumps in there. Just like that. Go ahead and get that back on. So the next thing we need to do is we are going to add in a half a cup of sugar, which is 100 grams, just like before. Half a cup, regular, plain old white granulated sugar. And we're gonna go ahead and mix this until it's combined. All right, we are in good shape. We're nice and combined. So what we're gonna do now is, I've got one large egg right here. But first, we're gonna wanna scrape things down real quick. All right, we got everything scraped and turned. Make sure, there's no clumps of sugar, which I knew there wouldn't be. So the next thing we're gonna add to this is our one large egg. Dump that in there. And then we're gonna get this turning on low. And we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, baker's extract. There is a difference, and I know I've said this before, but you may be new and didn't know. Baker's extract is made to be able to hold the vanilla flavor while baking. Some vanillas will lose their vanilla flavor when it's in the oven. Baker's baking extract is what you use to keep that flavor going. So we're going to mix this on a low speed until everything is combined. Okay, so we got our batters done, and we're right there. And if I forgot to tell you, which I'm pretty sure I did, when we very first started everything, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Let's get that warming up and moving. I'm pretty sure I didn't say anything as usual. But that's when you want to start it, right at the very beginning. Let's get it preheating, let it cycle a few times, then put your cinnamon sugar together, and then let's make our cheesecake filling. Batter's made. I've got a 9x13 dish sitting right here. I went ahead and took some spray, and I gave it a good even coat. And then now we're going to take half of our cinnamon sugar mix, about half, I mean it doesn't have to be exactly half, and we're just going to sprinkle this along the bottom as evenly as possible. I actually have a dredge somewhere around here, but I'm not exactly sure where it went off to, that I made myself, and has cinnamon sugar in it, but that's alright. So we're going to take half of that and put that in there. And then the next thing we're going to do, after we get that going, just like such, is we're going to take, now I have 2 crescent rolls, and they're the pre-packaged crescent rolls. And according to the original recipe, I guess you can buy crescent rolls that aren't already done up. Don't have the slits in them already, so they don't look like triangles pushed together. I've never seen them before, but they make them. So if you can find those, grab those. And maybe I just haven't looked, or they just don't sell them in my area. But I just bought the regular old crescent rolls that you would buy in a pre-rolled can, Pillsbury store brand, whatever. And you're gonna press these together, right? And that way you got, and if they happen to be a little bigger than your dish, that's fine. Just go ahead and trim it down so it's even. So then the next thing we want to do, now that we got our bottom one there on top of our cinnamon sugar, is we're going to take our batter and we're going to put that on it. Alright, now that we got our batter out of the bowl, next thing we're going to do is just spread this out. So we want to get this smoothed out evenly, just like this. Okay, we got that smoothed out. Oh, got a little extra right there. Now, I got told once this is unprofessional, but you know what, I don't care. You should be tasting a little bit of each section anyhow. just to make sure it doesn't need anything and it suits your needs. So here it was an addition to, and I remember the grape or the strawberry jam we made a while back. I'm gonna take some of that and I'm gonna spread that on top of here. Now you don't have to do this. I just thought this would be a nice, fun, addition to this. And then I even bought some strawberries we can chop up and put on top if we so desire. To make this, because I want it to be a strawberry version of this, but let's say you don't like strawberries. First I'd say you're probably an alien. I mean, let's be honest, strawberries are like the one fruit that everybody I think likes. I don't know anybody that doesn't like a strawberry. But so we'll give this a good light brush on here, and then but you could also use blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, no berry. Maybe there's something else you want to try in here. You could put a swirl of caramel in it. That would be amazing. Or a swirl of chocolate. That would be amazing. Or even when this comes out with the strawberries, we can maybe put some caramel topping on it. Either way. But anyhow, let's focus on the task at hand. So we got that done. So the next thing we need to do is grab our other crescent roll, right? We have 2 crescent rolls. And we are going to take this one and put it right on top, like we did the bottom one. Just like that. And then we'll get that straightened out there. I'm going to stretch this one out just a little bit though, to kind of get it towards the edges. And like I said, I have mine out already and on parchment paper in a valid attempt to press the edges together a little bit, but as you can see, it didn't square the lines together a little bit to make it one big roll, and it almost kind of didn't sort of work. But if it doesn't work, just take your fingers like this and just pinch. That's all you gotta do to get those bad boys together, is just pinch and it'll pull it all together. So now that we got that in here and got those lines pinched, so that way we'll know to stay together, we're going to take the other half of this cinnamon sugar and we're going to pour it on top also, just like this. Okay, so we've got our cinnamon sugar on there, strawberry filling in, cream cheese filling in. All that stuff is good, so let's go ahead and get it in the oven, and then we can talk about how long to bake it for. All right, so we're in the oven. Now the recipe says 30 minutes or until lightly browned on top. So I'm assuming we're looking to get the crescent rolls baked and the cheesecake baked. So I'm gonna go 30 minutes and I'll check it after about 25 minutes and see how our top looks. And then if I need to, I'll just add an additional minute or 2 on at a time until the top is a golden brown. After that, we're gonna pull it out, let it cool to room temperature, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge, just like a cheesecake, only we don't have to do it real slow like a cheesecake, where we're just gonna let it chill for an hour or 2. So when I come back, we can look at the finished product and maybe try a piece. All right, hold on for me just 1 second. Okay, so I know I said that we oven 30 minutes, room temperature, put in the fridge, and then when I come back, we would take a look at it and cut pieces. But I want to show you real quick here's what I noticed taking it out of the oven. Sorry about that. But if you look, maybe if I can get it straightened up here, see how we are golden brown on the top. Probably got a little too much cinnamon sugar on there, but can you really have too much? And if, I don't know how hot that is still, because I literally just take it out of and see how it doesn't jiggle, which tells me it's all firm. And if you tap on it, hear the crispiness, just like that. So that to me, I mean, and I could be completely wrong. Ask me how many of these I've ever made before. None. Well, 1 now. But that tells me it's probably pretty done. And I can smell it, right? And anybody who's ever baked or cooked anything in their entire life, usually if you can smell it, it's done. I mean, really smell it. Chances are good it's done. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to let that cool down to room temperature, about 45 minutes, and then I'll put it in the fridge. Now, covered or uncovered, I am going to put the lid on mine. Mine 9x13 has a lid that allows it to vent. If you don't have a lid for your 9x13, put some plastic wrap over it, right? Like you would normally do, or foil, but leave a corner of it open so it's not completely closed off. Because if you are not truly down to room temp and it's the slightest bit warm, you'll get moisture condensation on whatever it is you put over top of that, and that could lead to a soggy top. So you want to be able to have some way to vent that, and I would recommend just maybe leaving a corner popped open. That way any heat can travel out of there, and you won't get a moisture buildup. But now when I come back, we will cut us a piece and give it a try. All right, I'll see you here in a sec. Okay, so we have gotten it baked, room temperature. We are now chilled, and as you might be able to see, it came in off the sides and kind of drew itself together quite a bit, at least on the sides, not so much over here at the top and the bottom, or top and bottom came together and the sides kind of, but anyhow, so it made it a little even. What I did do off camera when I pulled it out was I took an offset, or not an offset spatula, but a regular cake spatula, a small one, and I ran it around the edges just to make sure we have nice clean pieces. Other than that, I'm just going to leave it in here because I can put a lid on it and put it in the fridge. So when I was thinking about different things to top this with, and a lot of it would depend on what, if anything, you put as a topping in your cheesecake itself, right? Because if you didn't put anything in it, your toppings might be different than, say, if you put chocolate, blueberries, blackberries, or in this case strawberries in it. So in this case, with the strawberries, I decided that what I wanted to do was top it with some more strawberries, some fresh strawberries at any rate, which I have cut up right there, and just small pieces. And then I have, remember the hot fudge bread we made 2 weeks ago? That's what's left of the hot fudge. I thought, why not drizzle that on there? It might be amazing. It might be horrible, but I doubt it. And I say that with the utmost confidence. And I'm gonna guess you're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 pieces out of this. Maybe even 18, depending on how you cut it. I'm gonna say 18. You should get 18 decent sized squares out of this. Sitting here looking at it in my head at any rate, because I'm cutting up a third of this right now, and I've got 6 squares right there, so that should be a pretty solid deal. Let me find something, and I'm gonna take this centerpiece right here. Now, refrigerating it, it was kind of weird because the recipe said that you could serve this at room temperature or let it chill, and the longer, of course, you let it chill, the firmer it'll get, and it's firm. I mean, right there is our piece. You can see that just little layer of strawberry in there. It's pretty much just enough to get you in trouble. So what we'll do is we're gonna go ahead and take some of these diced strawberries and put them on top, just like such. Now the hot fudge was in the fridge, so I had to warm it up, and I warmed it up. I put it in the squeeze bottle, so that way I was always having it in the squeeze bottle, and I let it cool down a little bit because I didn't really want to put blazing hot hot fudge on my ice cold cheesecake here. So we'll go ahead and let's get another line going right there. Yeah, perfect. All right, so there, my friends, is our finished product. and I think that just looks insanely good. So now all we have to do is give this a try, but I am going to adjust the camera real quick first, so that way I can see your smiling face as I eat something I probably don't need. But hey, sometimes you need things you don't need, right? Am I wrong? No, probably not. But we're gonna give this a try all the same. If I can get it to break apart. There we go. That is amazing. The cinnamon sugar, I was a little worried about the crescent roll being like a churro, only because it's not. But it is definitely doing the job. And that cheesecake is wonderful. The strawberry jam, using the whole jar, I thought to myself, well, it doesn't look like a lot, but it's kind of a lot. Is it going to have balance? Because it's not something that was in the recipe originally. It was a suggestion. But balanced, really balanced. So I'm gonna say, if you haven't made our strawberry jam yet, you should. It's awesome and it's really easy, and it doesn't require any special tools, so to speak. But if you don't, just get like an 8-ounce jar of strawberry jam, and you'll be in like Flynn. You may have to heat it up a little bit in order to get it to pour, but all the same, that is amazing. If you can hold on for me 1 second, I hear a child coughing. I need to go see what's going on real quick. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Abby has caught a really bad congestive cough, and at times it just gets the best of her. So I wanted to make sure she was okay, and she is. We've been battling this thing for over a week now, and she's about to go to the doctor to get it looked at. So anyhow, that being said, this is amazing. Hands down, just amazing. And I'm going to steal one more bite. And why I do that, I'm going to tell you, you need to try this. Just hands down. If you don't try this, you are missing out on something beautiful. The chocolate and the fresh strawberries on top, I think, just send it over the top. It would be good without it, I'm sure. Because I can taste it. I can taste the strawberry jam, just a hint of it. I can taste that cheesecake is so creamy in the center. And the crescent rolls really did their job. The cinnamon sugar is very well balanced. It's just an awesome little piece of creation. Hats off, hands down. Give this a try. If you do, leave me a comment down below. If you do something different jam, different toppings, let me know. I'd be curious. I'd love to see variety. And it might even be something that I could talk about later on down the road when we're making, another video. I'd be like, oh, you remember that churro cheesecake that we did? Well, so-and-so did such and such, and that sounds absolutely amazing. I wouldn't recommend it with anchovies, but it's different sauces. Caramel sauce, a butterscotch, a different fruit like a kiwi, maybe strawberries and kiwi would be awesome, diced up on top of that with the strawberry jam, or kiwi diced up in it with strawberries on top. Possibilities are endless. But anyhow, let me know if you do down in the comments below or over on Facebook, as always. And so this week I am going to actually get some canning done. Like I said in yesterday's video, the last couple weeks before have just been incredibly hectic with graduation parties. This week's not a whole lot better, but it's slowed down for us a little bit, so it's made it easier to get things done. But with the cookies going out, and then having to pull a little extra at the shop, and just things going on around the house. Abby being sick. It's been a tough couple of weeks to get anything done, and unfortunately the videos had to sacrifice. But this week I am going to do some canning, and we're going to finally get around to that red curry chicken quick meal in a jar. I've been dying to make this, to put it on the shelves and to try it, so we're going to do both. And yeah, so until Saturday when we get together for canning up a quick meal, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I never take you guys for granted, and I appreciate every moment you spend with me. Time is something that you give willingly and you can't get back, and that means the world to me. Tell somebody else that you love them and you love them very much. It's going to make them smile. It might be a day where they need to hear it. It's going to make you smile, make you feel good either way. And if you make them one of these churro cheesecakes, especially with the strawberry filling like we did today, they're going to know you love them, and that's going to lead to a good cup of coffee, some conversation, and there's enough there. As always, invite the guy walking the dog down the street, hand him a piece, hand that family of 3 that's walking down the street some, make a friend with it. That's the best thing you can do. The mailman who brings you mail every day and, would love a piece of this, I guarantee it. So anyhow, till Saturday for some red curry chicken quick meal. I love you, and I'll see you then. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.